Okay, so we're not really passing in anything right now. We're just giving a default speed. Once we start actually seeing this in relation to our circle for our player, then we can start tweaking some stuff. Okay, so now let's just go ahead and run. We never added the animation for our player, so that's when we want to actually pass that. So if we do that player change animation, now that should work. Change animation, and we're doing to the idle. So that's the default one that we're going to do. Oh. Canary properties undefined, reading X, and animation 25. This.position.x. Okay, and that's called from the draw, which is called from the player, animation display. So we got to tweak some stuff. Let's see if we made it here. Console.log here. That should be called when we're first running. We made it in there. Okay. So that means that our type's matched. It's not null. We reset otherwise. So let's now check that we have an animation. Okay, there's our animation, says idle. We have 12 images. Do, 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 do. 1, 2, 3. 12 images. All right, I'm going to pause. I'm going to look for the error and I'll come back. Okay, after tracking it down, I realized what my error was. This is erroring out because in my animations, it doesn't understand what this position.x is. Okay, because when I wrote this, here and here, I never told it to add them together. I just wrote it, which was dumb. So, image respecting, text for the first parameter, and variable instead. All right, new error. All right, now the other reason, numFrame can't calculate because it's calculating off an index. Index does have a value, but the speed, we had it here, and I never passed it in. It doesn't exist anywhere. So this dot anim speed is whatever that speed is. Let's rewrite that. Anim speed. Okay, so now that should, there we go. All right, so that is working now. Obviously, that is sized really large. So this means that we probably want to do an offset width, offset height to change the size so that it's sized down appropriately. Because it's based off of this. So if that's off, then all we need to do is just change some of these values. So I could do minus 50, 50, and we start shrinking it down. Or I might have another issue. It's not even sizing. So this is another issue. So now we want to look for that one. We also assumed width and height for the subject. When I go to the player, what do we have? We have radius and we have size. So that's already also causing us an issue. Now we could rewrite this, easily go in width if we needed to hold those specific values, and we could just say that that is size. We could also do the same for height. Or we could change how we are building our player, and there's our character. Okay. And our sketch, we were sizing down, so if we don't want to size down now that's actively working, we should be able to have our player there. So now it's updating. We could see him blinking. I might want to actually increase this some. I think that that's a little bit small. So let's see where we are. There we go. And then we could also bump him up some because now he's not touching the ground in terms of our player. 25. Pretty close. 20. Okay, so now he's down at the ground. He's jumping. We're not changing the animation. We just have his idle animation, but we use the offset height, and we use the offset width and height to size up from our player without changing the size of our player. So if we wanted to speed this up, again, we would have closer to 1. That's way too fast. If we do, much slower, 0.2, he is blinking much slower. So you can determine where you want. Here we're doing 30 frames a second. I don't think that that's too bad. All right, so that is how we would do our animations. Remember, we built a whole class for being able to do this, for passing all of that stuff to make it reusable. Now, when we want to create another animation, we go into our sketch. We can create the new animation using that player function that we just built, and then we can change the animation. So when he goes to jump, we can change the animation to the jump animation. We can check when it's finished and then go back to the run animation, or whatever we need to. So that's how we would build. Obviously, there are some issues with this, as each time we are trying to go from one state to the other, we're going to end up having a lot of spaghetti code to make sure that it's working. Just for us to be touching the ground, that was causing issues. So these are things that we're going to have to fix for future versions, which is where we would want to use a design pattern of finite state machines, which will solve a lot of this. Your challenge is to finish off the stuff you guys are doing the rest of the animation. So you're going to have to do a run animation and the jump animation. You're going to want to make sure that they're stitched correctly together. We don't need to check about when we finish run to jump, but we do want to check when we finish jump to go back to a run. And you also want to make sure that your jump, you're not cycling through the animation too fast, because we really only need to do it once. So you'd be adjusting the speed for that and changing your offsets and everything so it looks how you want it to. All right, that's it. Do those challenges and you got this. Good luck. Have fun.